Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we're going to be continuing our June color along. We're working in Kerby Rosanes Mythomorphia, and the page that we are working on is the Baku. I am loving how this is turning out so far. So this is what we did in part 1. If you haven't watched that yet, I highly recommend you do so. So in part 2, we're going to be continuing and finishing the background. I'm super excited for this. There are just a couple areas that I want to fix up here. I really like how all of this is looking for now. I do want to kind of color a little bit closer to the binding, just because I noticed my book was kind of laying like this and I didn't notice it. So I want to kind of get in there a little bit more. And then I kind of want to fix this cloud. I don't really like the mix of the yellow and purple in here, but I also don't want to wreck it. So I think I'm going to leave it for now. And I hope that white highlights will kind of fix that later on. So I've got just this large piece of paper that we're going to tuck in behind here. Again, if you don't have a piece of paper like this, you can just tape or use 2 pieces of paper together. All right, I'm going to go ahead and activate the watercolors. So we're using the Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors for this. And these are the colors we're using, and the pans are kind of corresponding to the colors. I figured that would be easiest for you guys to kind of see which pans I'm reaching for, since I'm switching so consistently. It would be way too hard to keep track of the cards, so hopefully this makes it easier for you. And with that being said, I think let's go ahead and dive on in. I think I'm going to keep it zoomed out again. Hopefully you guys don't mind having it zoomed out. This way I know we're not missing anything, and if I did have it zoomed in, then we don't get all of the watercolors kind of in frame. So alongside the book and the watercolors, I also have some brushes and some water to clean my brush off, and a paper towel to dab the excess water off on, as well as just a tissue paper to blot anything that I don't really like going on. I can get that off the page. I think that's it. I did say in part 1, but just in case you haven't seen it, you can for sure do this with any other type of medium, whether you have like Neocolor 2s or the Derwent Inktense, any kind of watercolor set you have. You can even do this with colored pencils. It just is going to take a lot of blending and patience. But I think that's everything we need to say, so let's go ahead and dive on in here. I think the first thing I'm going to do is just fix the couple spots up here. That way they're dry later and we can kind of get a good visual on what they're going to look like. Another thing I'm not really liking here is the shadow that I put on the Baku's head is very, very sharp. We've got this very hard line here. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. I know I used the turquoise green, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of that. And I'm just going to bring it up here a little bit. Okay, hopefully that'll be a little bit better. I just don't want that really harsh line there. Again, I'm going to leave this area alone, even though I'm not the biggest fan of it. I do want to add a little bit more of the yellow here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that and then blend it out. And then I do want to kind of fix these areas. They don't really have to match into the colors exactly. So I'm maybe just going to grab a little bit of the deep blue. And I'm just going to pop that in here and try to fade it out a little bit. As long as I don't have that like really stark whites there, then I think that'll be okay. And again, if you're worried about the other page, you can take a strip of like painter's tape or washi tape. I wouldn't use normal tape because when you rip that off, it'll rip your paper. But some kind of tape that is easy to come off, you could kind of tape this page as close to the binding as possible. That way any excess tape will kind of run off onto there. or sorry, any excess paint will kind of run off onto there, and then you can just pull the tape after to keep it nice and clean. But I'm not too worried because this page will probably be done with a watercolor background anyways, so I think it'll be fine. Okay, so I think down to here is about where I would need to stop with the navy blue, because then we get into some lighter colors. I believe we used the turquoise green for this, so let's go ahead and grab a little bit of that. And I think I'm just gonna bring that down all the way to where we've already colored. And then the last little bit I have to worry about is just this right here, and that was kept pretty light, so I'm just gonna grab some pale aqua and color in the white from there. There, and that should be good. All right, so because I am right-handed, I'm gonna start on this side of the page and work my way this way. I apologize if you're left-handed, actually. I don't really think these things through, because if you're left-handed, you're gonna want to start from this side to this side, and that's almost impossible with my videos. Yeah, didn't really think that through. I'm sorry, guys. To anybody that's left-handed, I'm sorry. But yeah, because I'm right-handed, I have to work this way to this way, so that way I'm not running my hand into wet watercolor. And yeah, okay, let's fix this area first. Don't like this at all. I want to make it super dark to try and get rid of that. I'm going to use some of the deep violet here. I'm going to try my absolute best not to go over these bamboo shoots, I think is what they would be called. So I was talking in part 1 about the pros and cons to using the paints like this, where I'm using them very concentrated. There's not much water at all because I don't want the paint to bleed through, so I use them very highly concentrated in this book. If you use them to certain high concentration, they get shiny. And I'll show you what I mean by that when I get to kind of a stopping point, as long as I remember. But because there's so much of the pigment, it kind of creates this shine when it dries. And the unfortunate part about that is you cannot use pencil over that shiny part. It just does not work. I don't want too much purple down here, so let's start pulling some of the deep blue into this. Too much water. So when possible, I try my best not to go over the lines into anything that's not going to be colored with the watercolor. So like, for example, our elephant, the bamboo shoots, those are going to be with pencil. We're going to do a light layer of watercolor, but maybe. We might not even do that. We might just go in with pencil, because I don't know if I want to risk it, because like I said, if we go in with too much concentration, then we're not going to be able to color over it with pencil, and then if we go in with too much water, it might bleed through to the next page. So it's kind of one of those hard decision type things. We will definitely need 2 layers to get rid of this orange. I don't know what I was thinking with that. Mistakes were made. Okay, let's start going into the deep blue around here as well. Yeah, I don't want to work too much in that area because I don't want to overwork it. I think I want to keep it fairly light down here because well, kind of like a medium tone. That way we can see the highlights and the shadows of the bamboo. So let's maybe go in with the deep blue kind of around the edges of the book, and then we'll work our way into some lighter colors. Right now we can just kind of consider this color blocking. This doesn't have to be perfect. We still have that second layer that will really help if we need it. So just have to kind of figure out where we want to kind of transition from the darker colors into the lighter colors. I'm thinking right around like in here. Let's switch into the, I don't want to use too much green down here, so let's go into the cobalt blue. I'm really hoping these bamboo shoots turn out okay because I'm trying my best not to color over them, but it's not going the greatest. Got to be a little bit quick with the watercolors, so lots of room for error, that's for sure. I would think that this kind of one right here comes down past here. So I'm not gonna color in that area. Okay, let's go back in with our deep blue here. I have this changing up here a little bit too, so let's go back in with the cobalt blue. I'll pop some of that in there. Okay, we're gonna go in with the lemon yellow. We're just gonna add a little bit more of this. I wanna have like a nice bright area in here, and it's a little bit easier to get it to blend if we go from the lighter into the darker. So we'll add a little bit of the yellow over on this side too. Every time I'm seeing big pools of water on my brush, I'm tapping it off on my paper towel. I don't want too much. Okay, let's bring the deep blue up from here a little bit. Okay, let's go into the turquoise green a little bit. Oh, I don't think I sprayed that one when I went back through and resprayed. A little too much water. It always seems to take me a little bit to get back into how I usually approach this. Let's go in with some pale green here. It also doesn't help that this area is a little trickier because we have so many objects in the way. We're having to paint around the bamboo, the little stars and stuff. There's just way more distraction areas, I guess. That's the word we could use. Okay, I'm gonna wet my brush and get most of the excess water off just to make it damp, and I'm gonna try and fade this out into the yellow because I don't exactly know how far I want this to go. I mean, that's looking good so far. Let's see how we're doing. Not too bad. I got a little bit here, so I did accidentally have a little bit too much water there. So it's decent so far. Probably come back up and start working over here. I don't know if I want to though. Yeah, let's go ahead. I think it'll be okay. Just make sure I haven't moved things around too much. This looks very pretty in person and on camera, which I am very happy about. Okay, I think, I don't know, in this area, we've got like a little bit of that orange mixed in with the purple here. I'm debating leaving it because it does look pretty, but at the same time, it's not really gonna match with anywhere else. I think it'd be okay to leave. Let's leave it. Okay, before I get back into this, I just want to show you what I was talking about with the watercolors and like the pigment. So most of the watercolor looks okay, but then see in this area, you can see there's kind of like this shiny residue. It's not everywhere. It's mostly in the darker areas where we've added a lot. Like this part is really bad. I probably would not be able to go over that with Prismacolors. It's not bad. Like, I don't mind it, but some people might not like it, or some people that actually properly know how to use watercolors would probably be able to avoid that. And I feel like the key is probably less water and lighter colors and just tons of layers. I am not a tons of layers person though, especially with watercolors, because I don't like the ugly phase that watercolor paintings go through, which is basically like this right here. This is what most people refer to as the ugly phase. I don't like this. I'd rather just have this right away. And then it usually saves my coloring book too. So I guess it's like, it's all about preference. I feel like there's really no right or wrong way to use a medium. You just kind of have to go with it and you do what works for you. And this is what works for me. So let's come in with our deep blue. We're just going to start softening this area up because it doesn't look the best. It's a little wet there. Let's bring that to about here. And then we'll switch into our, maybe the turquoise green a little bit. Too wet. Let's kind of come around his 1 foot here. I'm going to kind of leave it off like that and then switch to the pale aqua. And we'll just work that a ways into the yellow. Let's go with a little bit more of the turquoise green here. Okay, that looks good. kind of lining that up there, and then we're going to go in with the cobalt blue. And just in case some of you are looking at my watercolors thinking, because I did say in part 2 that they are a very good budget brand, they last a long time. I know it looks like I've gone through a lot of mine, and I have, but I've also had them since well, not quite since, but pretty close to when I started my adult coloring journey. So I've had these for, I'd probably want to say like at least like 2 or 3 years, and I do use them quite a bit, so they really aren't doing too bad. So pretty. Oh, I love these colors. I also love, this is like my dab off Kleenex. It's so pretty, isn't it? Sometimes I just want to keep these because it like represents the colors on the pages that I'm coloring, but I don't usually. Oh, my hair's trying to fall out. Perks of having long hair. Okay, let's go back in with our deep blue. I want to make it down here really dark. Let's work till about there, and then we're going to grab some of the purple. Okay, deep blue, let's darken this part up a little bit. I was worried that when I put the purple down, it's a little bit too dark. It looks like it's ghosting through, but it's not bleeding yet, so hopefully it doesn't. It might still as it dries. It might soak through the paper more and more, but I don't want to dab that out because I really like the look of it. I think it'll be okay. Okay, so this here is a little too fuzzy for me. I'm going to see if I can just fix it up with just a damp brush. Sometimes you can just rub at it and make it look better. I think it looks okay. Okay, we do want to kind of bring the intensity up to these ones, so let's go in with the deep blue. Just use my fingernail on this bamboo thing to hold this down. The paper wants to warp a little bit. So I'm just going to bring the dark blue kind of against this side of bamboo here and bring it out just a little bit. And then we're going to go in with the cobalt blue and kind of mix the two together. There, we got that gorgeous vibrant color built up. Let's put the cobalt blue down here too, I think. And then a little bit of the dark blue kind of following, I don't think I picked any up. Following this bamboo and then kind of up from the bottom here. And then just a damp brush to kind of mix the two. Yeah, very pretty. I'm going to grab some of the lemon yellow and I'm going to just pop it up here a little bit. Oh, pulled another color in there. That's okay. It will be mixed anyways. Maybe just a little bit on this one too. There. I don't want just two bright areas. I would rather have three, and this is kind of a triangle, which works. But I figure I'm just going to imagine that the moon is going to glow. I still don't know what color we're going to make it. We'll probably end up making it like a yellowish gold. I feel like it needs to be at this point now. All these clouds are behind the moon, and that's why they're a little bit darker, but this one's going to be right in front of the moon. So maybe a lot of the brightness from the moon is going onto this cloud specifically, is kind of how I'm looking at that. So hopefully that works. I do want to add a little bit more of the deep blue here. It just looks a little bit too bright for its surrounding areas, so it's standing out a bit too much. Let's bring that up through here just a little bit. And then I don't exactly know what colors I've got going on here. Maybe a little bit of the turquoise green. And my watercolors need to be activated again. They dry out fairly quick. That's gonna bleed through, I think. Yeah, a little bit of that and a little bit of the pale aqua. Looks pretty good. I'm kind of avoiding the light area for last. I'm kind of building my way up to that. Okay, I want to put some of the purple around here. It's kind of coming out from this cloud. I don't want it all along the bottom, but I'll bring it out to like maybe there. And from there, we'll switch in with the deep blue. And I've got way too much water on my brush right now, so I'm just going to clean that off. Just trying to kind of spread the purple around a little bit more because I think that was too wet as well. Looks okay. Okay, I think that looks good. Let's go in with the turquoise green. Okay, let's try and use a damp brush to kind of blend this in a little bit. I'll bring that back into the blue and the purple a little bit, and then we'll, let's see, let's switch to the Persian blue. Kind of mix these in a bit maybe. Okay, let's go in with some pale aqua, blend this out. So pretty. Might be biased, but it's very pretty. I think I need a little bit more paper towel. I will be right back. Okay, I got some more paper towel. It's definitely good not to let your paper towel get too wet, otherwise it's not going to be absorbing a lot of the water off your brush, and that's when you're going to run into problems. I also think right here is like the perfect half-finished area to just take a quick snapshot of for our Moon and Up channel members who receive updates. Okay. All right, let's carry on. Just gonna go in with the pale aqua. Just add a little bit of like texture and dimension with this into the yellow, because I don't think I want the yellow super bright like this. I think it needs to be dulled down. I feel like this is the perfect color for that because they go so well together. The pale aqua isn't super dark. It's very light, very muted. Gives it that gorgeous green tone that I wasn't really going for, but I'm kind of happy happened. Okay, so I think I don't want to make this too dark, but it's also just a bit too light. I think we need to add like a few more dark areas around it, or bring the dark areas closer to it maybe. So I'm going to go in with the turquoise green And I'm going to bring that down from here a little bit. Maybe kind of like outline this area with it. Yep, I think that looks a little bit better. And then now we'll just go in a little bit more with our pale green here. Just going to dot it in kind of the middle here. Let's bring back some of that pretty texture. And with the turquoise green, I'm just going to kind of do the same thing. It's kind of coming out from these areas. What do we think? I'm not quite sure about this area here, but it's still pretty damp and already bleeding through a little bit, so I don't want to add too much to that. I mean, realistically, once the rest of it is colored too, it's not gonna look too bad. And I totally didn't even think about this here. Let's start building up color for that. I think I'm gonna use purple kind of along the bottom here. Let's do purple into like the cobalt blue maybe. Oh, that's a lot of purple. We're gonna have to go back over that when it dries, but it's a little bit too wet. I'm trying to pick up as much of the water with my brush as I can. Okay, so that was way more purple than I was expecting, but it is what it is. Okay, let's start here. We're going to kind of work our way up on this cloud. So we're going to start Pretty much as always with our darkest colors, I'm going to come in with the deep blue. Okay, a little bit of the turquoise green. Okay, down here, let's go in with the Prussian blue, however you say that. Oh, I was also thinking yesterday, a lot of people that probably have this set don't know the paint colors. I had to like really hunt them down when I first got the set because it bothered me that I didn't know what they were. Try to remember at the beginning of part 1 to kind of give you guys a list of the numbers and the names. I mean, you have them here. You can go by the numbers when I'm saying whatever the name is, but I don't know how convenient that is for you. Okay, this cloud scares me. We're going to move to this one for now. Okay, let's come out from the purple with the cobalt blue maybe. I feel like these two should mix pretty well together. I usually go back over the purple with the navy blue anyways. I just want that purple in there to give a little bit of a hue, but oftentimes it ends up being a bit too much. Okay, pretty. I'm assuming this cloud is part of this one, so it's gonna be kind of hard to do that one because we don't know what color we're coming out from. Like I imagine it would be, we can probably keep the turquoise green. So maybe keep like the turquoise green up here. So maybe like that. And then I think we're using the Persian blue, hopefully. The cobalt and the Persian blue look very similar in a sense. Cobalt blue is just a little bit more green. All right, so let's do that. And then let's grab a little bit of the pale aqua to blend out from those. Okay, that looks okay. This bottom part is taking way longer than I thought it would. So I don't think we'll have much time to base anything else, because we'll still have to do like a few more layers on, we're just on these clouds areas. I think I'm happy with everything else. Oh, and this cloud. By the time we finish kind of giving color to these, that one should be ready to be colored as well. Let's kind of work on this little bit of cloud here. I want to go in with the turquoise green. Kind of on both of these little areas. I'd like to get beside the binding done because I hate coloring in beside the binding. It's not bad with watercolors. You have way more leeway with the brush, but it's still annoying regardless. Few little dots in there. That should be pretty good there. That should dry nicely. Uh-oh. Just one moment. I think my kitty might be getting into a fight. All right. Yeah, Miss Miko loves being outside, but we have a couple male cats that come around and she's not very fond of them. So she growls at them and tries to fight them even though she's way tinier than them. It's quite cute and terrifying, but she's okay. All right, so we're still decently in frame. Yes, okay. Let's start in with the purple here. I don't know what is going on here. I think I'm just going to color that in. I don't need that there. There's already enough going on. And honestly, I think lazy efficiency here. This whole corner is just going to be dark. So I don't know really what's going on with those shapes there. Okay, I want to bring this out into the deep blue a bit. Oops, I'm working with very, very dark colors here, very, very pigmented. Should probably, oops. Give you each of those a little spray again. Let's grab, let's go with the cobalt blue. We already have quite a bit of turquoise in these clouds over here. I'm going to bring these colors out a little bit here. Okay, I'm okay coming back to this cloud a little bit here, but I don't want to accidentally make it too dark. So let's just go on in with the pale aqua here. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, so in with the purple again here. I'm not going to add nearly as much as last time. That was a big oops. And let's go in with the, I guess it'll still have to be the Persian blue. I don't want to use any colors that we kind of have around this area. So yeah, Persian blue it is. And then, oddly enough, let's go in with the pale aqua. I'm going to try to kind of muddy this up a little bit, lighten where we can. Don't know if it's making it better or worse, but we'll see. I think it looks a little better. I don't hate it. It's not bad. I think it just needs that little bit of yellow now. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so let's go back to this one here. So we're going to be going in over top of the purple with the deep blue. And then I don't know what colors we moved into, but let's go into the cobalt blue from there. All right, and then our pale aqua. Along with bringing dots out into the lighter areas, you can also kind of dot back in with the lighter colors as well. It's not as noticeable, it's definitely way more subtle, but it's very pretty. Take just a little bit of the cobalt blue and I'm going to put it in around this little whimsical tail thingy here. I'm just going to blend that out. Just using some little dots. And then I am happy with that cloud. Let's go in with a little bit of yellow. So pretty. Oh, that's not the color I want. I don't want purple. A little bit of the deep blue. I think this one we're just going to bring straight into the pale aqua. We don't have a lot of room with this one. So I'm just going to touch in some color there, and then I'm going to blend it upwards first, and then blend it back down a little bit. Keep blending it till we're happy with it, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. And some yellow. Still feel like this fade is just too harsh. I gotta fix that. A little better. Okay, I'll deal. It's okay. It's better. It's better than it was. I can handle that. Okay, turquoise green. Prussian blue. Pale aqua. And I'm just going to use a damp brush to blend. Hopefully that's okay. That's a little wetter than I wanted it to be. We can grab a little bit of the deep blue just for under here. Add some little dots. And yellow. So this one kind of confused me. These two clouds here, they kind of confused me a little bit because it looks like this cloud's coming out from here, but also this shape here just doesn't make it look, it looks the opposite. It looks like this is going in front of that. And maybe it is. Maybe it's coming out from here, but then going above that. I don't really know, but I already have it too dark for that, so we're just going to carry on. This is such a big cloud area. I don't want to do it all at once, so we're going to try to kind of bite it off into smaller pieces. I'm going to pretend that this segment here is one. I feel like I can kind of blend it in, not too bad, and make it look unanimous, hopefully, but we'll see. I think we use the Persian blue here, so we're going to do the same thing. Just build up those layers. Maybe not going to come all the way to the edge here. I want to add a little bit of the yellow there, maybe. A little bit of the blue and the yellow. I'm just going to clean that out before I forget. Oh man, this turquoise green dries out faster than all of them. I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna grab the pale aqua here. This cloud is going to be the death of me. Okay, let's figure out what we're doing here, which is, I have no idea. Okay, it's not bad for now. Let's blend this out a little bit here. this needs to be fixed. I think the only way I can fix that is just by making it a little bit darker here. Okay, we can come back in and add more shadows. But right now I am mostly worried about this area. It is ghosting pretty roughly right now. So let's put down a little bit more of the pale aqua here. Okay, let's bring that all the way up. Okay, I think I used the Prussian blue down here, but I'm gonna grab the cobalt blue. I'm just gonna blend this into the purple. Bring that out from there. Let's use a little bit of the turquoise green in here too. So we'll just bring this down a little bit here. We're putting it underneath these swirls. Okay, we're just gonna fade it out down here, just so it looks like it actually blends in. Then up here, we're gonna fade it into the pale aqua. Okay, so it's looking pretty good for now. We just have this one spot, which is a little bit still wet. So I'm just going to blow dry that and then we can finish it. Okay, it's quite a bit drier. So before we go and do that, I just want to, I don't know why, but it's still bugging me. This is just, it's too bright. I'm gonna knock this back down a little bit more with the pale aqua and kind of soften up some of these little dot shapes that we made. Okay, hopefully that's not going to bother me as much now. So for this ginormous pain in the butt cloud, I'm just going to go in with some more of the turquoise green. I'm going to fade out from that with just a damp brush. So just like with colored pencil, any like wide open spaces like this are just nightmares. I think this is looking okay though, hopefully. I think it looks okay. A little bit more of the heavier turquoise green here to kind of blend out. A little bit of a drier brush. And then let's maybe just dot it out from here. All right, and then let's just add a little bit of deep blue here. Just using some little dots as well, a little bit here. And then this area just beside the beetle, because I don't really know what this is supposed to be, I'm just gonna color that completely in with the deep blue. Yeah, deep blue. I'm going to add a little bit more of the yellow down here. That was quite a bit, but I'm going to keep it. That looks okay. And I think with that, the background is complete. And I'm not gonna lie, now I am completely stumped on colors for him. Because I don't know if the blues and greens will suffice anymore. I'm gonna give it a day and think about it, but I think that's it for part 2. Alright, if you're liking what you're seeing so far, please hit that like button so we can get this video out there to other people that might be interested in it. I think that's it for part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, take care, and hopefully I'll see you in part 3. Alright guys, bye!